بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله ومن والاه. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته everyone.
وعليكم
Barakallahu
السلام.
fikum for joining on time. It's nice to see eager students, mashallah, better attendance compared to last Sunday, alhamdulillah. And I've also seen, mashallah, some of you have gone through the PDFs and YouTube videos for this lesson in preparation. It's a shame brother Jumma Khan is unable to make it, but he was the first, I think, that confirmed that he's done the MCQs and watched the videos for lesson 8. So he was first off the mark. Unfortunately, due to work, he couldn't make it, but I know others have come prepared, mashallah. May Allah bless you all. And hopefully that'll make this lesson more productive because this is some a topic some students do find slightly challenging, but inshallah we'll try our best to make it easy for you to understand. It's an important topic and there is some debate about this which we'll go into later inshallah. The topic is Masdar and Masdar Mu'awwal. So what is a Masdar? And this is the point I'm going to speak about now is the most important point. We'll go into Masdar in detail, inshallah, giving you lots of examples to help you understand what this topic is about. But first and foremost, the introduction is what you need to comprehend first and foremost, okay? So Masdar is an idea or a concept. So if you weren't sure about this, yeah, and please make a note of this in your notebooks. To keep it simple, Masdar is an idea or a concept. Simple as that. That's the first premise. That's the foundation. That's what we start with. Okay, it's an idea or a concept. But what do we mean by that? So compared to a fi'l, there's action. A masdar is an ism. Okay, a masdar is a kind of ism. And to help you understand what we mean by that, when we say when an idea is expressed, we have examples. For example, when we say to submit, let me get my pen. When we say to submit, it's an idea. There's no action. There's no information about who's doing it and when it's being done, etc. Okay, the concept of submitting, i.e., to submit, is just an idea. Similarly, when there's words that end with ing, then it's conveying an idea. Okay, nothing more than that at this stage. Or similarly, there are words when they're ending with ion, such as submission. These are ideas. Okay, so we'll see lots of examples, inshallah, when we see words in this construct, to submit, or submitting, or submission. So these are three examples of, you'll see variation of words, but what they are doing, it's conveying an idea or concept. In these words, there is no information about who is doing it. There is no subject. In these words, there is no action in itself. Okay, it's not a verb. Okay, this is the first, this is the foundation, this is the first bit you need to understand. So a masdar is conveying an idea or a concept, and in it, there is no action taking place. Okay, and it doesn't tell you who is doing it or when it's being done. Okay, that's the first principle. If you're okay with that, then we can move on, inshallah. But if anyone's unclear or wants further clarification, please do put it in the chat. But we will go deeper, inshallah. Can I just quickly see a raise of, if you can put your thumbs up, just to let me know that you've understood what I've said so far. That a masdar is the idea or concept. I'm assuming hands raised means thumbs up as well. Let me just quickly check. I just want to make sure I'm not going too fast because we do have quite a bit to cover in this topic, but it will be repetition. And the idea of the repetition is to ensure you've understood. Can I see if, okay, you can put your hands down now. Thank you for um, indicating you've understood. Can you put your hand up if you haven't understood what I've said? Because I know this can be quite challenging for some when it's the first time we're doing it. As we go further, we'll be doing some mental gymnastics, which is why I want to ensure, you're okay. Anyone not understood what I've said so far, that when we say a masdar, we're talking about an idea, that we're talking about a concept. Anyone not understand that? Don't be shy because you're doing a disservice to yourself if you've not understood and you're staying quiet. Okay, alhamdulillah. Because most of you have covered this before, and I know many of you have gone through the video already. I'm happy that I'm confident that at this stage, um, it should be quite straightforward. Dr. Mohammed, you want to ask them anything before I move on?
No, Alhamdulillah. Going
Okay,
well, mashallah.
okay. So yeah, concept or an idea, that's what we're starting with. As I've said, the there are words or patterns that you will see. For example, um, when we're talking about idea, we're talking about things that have names, but there is no action taking place. And examples are education, Islam, patience, happiness, thoughts, anger, recitation. So these are concepts, these are ideas. And notice some of these words have tion at the end, shun at the end. It's an idea. Other examples are fraction, rotation, reflection. So the concept of reflection is an idea, right? It doesn't tell you that someone's reflecting, who's reflecting, when they're reflecting, it's just an idea. And as we said, there are words ending with ing, such as sleeping, swimming, eating, reading, writing, working, etc. These words, there's no um, there's no information about action taking place, when it took place, who's doing it. There's no subject, no doer. Okay, so just an idea. Compare this to a verb. We have fataha here, fataha, which simply means he opened, fataha. Now, this verb has a doer. So first is there's an action, he opened, right? And there's an actor, the doer. Fatha being the default, we know it's huwa, means he is the doer. Okay, and we know this is a past tense verb, a malbi verb. Therefore, it's given us some time information. Okay, fataha is past tense. So a verb will have past, present, or future tense, right? So it gives you an action, it gives you the doer and the actor, and information about the time. So that's a verb. So in contrast, the masdar does not have this. The masdar, um, you can think of it like this. It's the verb without the tense or the doer. Okay. So, but ultimately, without those two qualities, it becomes a noun. If you go back to the first things we taught in module one, and it's a long time ago for some of you, but we were um, describing the different kalima, right? The qualities of the nouns and the verbs. This is why it's so important to understand the basics. If that's strong, this is straightforward for you. It should make sense, inshallah. If Other admin can just make sure if someone's waiting in the waiting room, let them in, please. But
I'll
yeah,
take.
thank you. So a verb, it has an action, it has a subject, I mean a doer, and it has time information, whereas the masdar does not have that doer and does not have the tense. Let's look at an example of the masdar form or which fataha would come from. Okay, and I'm using some terminology deliberately, which I'll explain why soon, inshallah. So we have this word fathun. So we similar to fataha, fathun means opening, and we have a surah in the Quran, fathun, opening. So here there is no actor. Okay, who fathun just means opening. There is no time. This is a typical example of a masdar, opening, simple as that. Until this is giving information about the action, opening, but there is no time and there is no actor. So to make sure you're completely clear, a masdar is a type of noun, and we will go through different types of nouns later, inshallah, in depth, and this information will help you later. And what do we know about nouns? Nouns, the i'rab changes, it declines. The masdar declines like a noun. And you can see here on this example, fathun has tanween. Therefore, in here, it is nakira. But it can also take al, therefore it can be ma'rifa. Okay? And obviously we know that doesn't apply to verbs. Another note, it describes an action without tense, i.e. time information, and the dua, which you've said. Okay. Later on in this lesson, you'll see lots of examples, inshallah. But something for you, some useful information for you is that there are, in verb form 1, there are 15 masdar patterns. Alhamdulillah, you don't have to memorize them all. But when it comes to forms 2 to 10, there's only one pattern. And this is something we'll be asking you to memorize, inshallah. And we'll see lots of examples later.
Yeah, Sister Hazira, fathun, since it is an ism, so it will have the default form of ism, which is nakira, fathun, nasrun, like all this. Nakira form, indefinite form.
This is from 1, why it's different from
No, I mean, Ustad, like, can it also take a fathatain, kasratain?
It can, yeah.
Okay.
As an ism, anything can happen to this as well.
Okay.
And in some situation, you might see gender change as well.
Mm-hmm.
It will
That's
have
a good question, because we're going to see how flexible masdar is, which is interesting, but also can make it complicated spotting a masdar, which we'll see plenty of examples, inshallah. But it's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. And in just few seconds, you're going to see Masdar is not going to remain Masdar anymore. It is going to become a Mubtada somewhere, Khabar somewhere, Maf'ul bihi somewhere, Shibh, etc. So as it demands, its irab and everything will change. Okay, so it's coming. Yeah, coming.
Yes, and this is where it gets interesting, and we'll be doing some mental gymnastics. So I need you to bear with me when I go through this section.
Yes.
And if anything is not clear, don't worry, inshallah, because we're not expecting you to completely comprehend what I'm about to go through now at first go. Okay, so that's why I said the bit I've explained at the beginning is the first most important. And then what I'm about to cover now is additional information to broaden your understanding of masdar and how it relates to other words, where it's come from, where it's going, etc. Inshallah. And we'll see more examples later. But the objective now is to show you how deep masdar is and how flexible it is, inshallah. So we've said masdar in Arabic is a verbal noun. Okay, it's a verbal noun, meaning there's action in it, but it's a noun. And what we're saying now, it plays various roles in a sentence, and that depends on the context. So what we're saying, masdar can, a word can start as a masdar, but due to the context, it can be something else. And here are some examples. A masdar can be a mubtada. Okay, masdar can be a mubtada. How? Let's look at some examples. So we know at the beginning of a sentence we have a jumlatul ismiya, we have a mubtada. For example, asafaru muta'atun. Traveling is a pleasure. As-safaru muta'atun. Here, safaru is it means traveling, is the masdar, and is also acting as a mubtada. So if we took away al here, it'd be safarun. Yeah. So as-safaru muta'atun here is the masdar. But masdar can also be a khabar. Again, this is to do with, look at the word and the role it's playing. In a jumlatul ismiya, we have mubtada and khabar, right? The predicate is the khabar. So in this example, let me get my pen out again. In this example, al-afdalu samtu. The best thing is silence. Al-afdalu, the best. As-samtu is silence. The best thing is silence. Here, samtu is the masdar and is obviously be acting as the khabar as well. So here we're saying the khabar, the masdar is the khabar in the second example. Okay, so again, these are things that you'll have to accept, and if it's not making sense now, you'll come back to it, and after you reflect on it and really understood masdar, it will start to click. So if it's not making sense now, just be patient, inshallah. Next example, maf'ulun bihi. We know maf'ul is the object, i.e. the action, the action is done on the object, right? And we have an example, uhibbul qira'ata. I love reading. Uhibbul qira'ata. Here, qira'ata is the masdar. Can you see? If Ali wasn't there, qira'atun. Yeah. Uhibbu al-qira'ata. So I love reading, i.e. the concept of reading, the idea of reading. I love that. That's what this is saying. And qira'ata is the masdar. Now, shibu fi'l, a concept again that can be slightly confusing, but it's not. Shibu just means something that resembles. So shibhu is something that resembles. What does it resemble? Here is the fi'l, something that looks like a verb, a fi'l. Okay. And in this example, sorry, there's additional information. Here, the function where the masdar takes on a verb-like role, i.e. shibu fi'l in the sentence, is combined with the jar, like a preposition, like fi, harf jar. And example here is fil kitabati, in writing. Here, kitabati, i.e. fil kitabati, al-kitaba is the masdar, as you can see, following that pattern. If you notice, there's a pattern how masdar usually appear, and the ending i'rab can change, as we said, right? The ending i'rab can change because it's a noun. Fil kitabati, here the al-kitabati is the masdar, and obviously it's jar because we have a harf jar before it. And here it means in writing. So again, it's the concept of writing, but there is no action. So ana jayyidun fil kitabati, meaning means I am good at writing. It's that concept or idea of writing. So here it's saying I am good at writing. Ana jayyidun fil kitabati. and because we have jar, it's got kasra at the end. Okay. For more examples, and then we go to some Quranic examples, inshallah. Mudaf ilay. The masdar can also be in mudaf ilay, genitive construction. For example, zamanu safari. Look at this carefully. Zamanu safari. Those of you are familiar with what's happening here. Zamanu safari. We have mudaf ilay. Therefore, we have a ending with a kasra. The meaning is zamanu safari means the time of traveling. Okay, zaman means time. As-safar is travel. Here the masdar is as-safar. Okay, zamanu safari. Now we have obviously kasra because of idafa, mudaf ilay. Next example is hal, and we'll see similar constructs in the example, inshallah. As you know, hal describes a circumstance where the action occurs. For example, لقيته وهو في
typing error. The original is correct with me. Lakitu.
لقيته وهو في حالة
Can students
البكاء.
confirm if your copy is also wrong? Can you, because the version was updated. I don't know if you have got the right one. Your version, does it say lakitu or likaitu? Students, please confirm. Ustad, carry on.
Yes, Ustad.
What
It
does
has
it say? Oh?
Li in the PDF
okay,
as well.
All right. Okay. That's fine. Just for your information, those who purchase the material, a brand new website, brand new everything is just being done and be completed in 7 days, 10 days time, and you will have everything kind of latest version. And this access will be there forever. Even in future, if we update the books or lessons or quiz or anything, alhamdulillah, forever permanent access for you on this. So any revision done, anything, time to time, you will be updated, inshallah. And you can pass this account to your future children, your family, because it's really for the whole family household and forever. So any update coming, inshallah, you will be notified. Do dua for this, please. You can see a wonderful assistance it's providing to our students, alhamdulillah. Okay, Ustad.
Perfect. So one example in this set is hal. لقيته وهو في حال البكاء. I met him while he was in a state of crying. So again, because this is hal, we can see what condition was he in. He was crying. I met him while he was crying. So here, the masdar is bukai. Let's look at some a Quranic example now, inshallah. Now, before I go into the Quranic examples, this is a very important note. So before you start being taking some initiative and being adventurous, masdar is actually quite difficult to identify in the Quran.
Yes, that's the point. Yeah, I was going to ask them, can you search and look for masdar? No, we can't. You can't, because masdar is no longer masdar. Their masdar is just changed to something else. But when you know it came from through the masdar, your interpretation will be slightly different, inshallah. Much more clarity will be there, inshallah. Yes, Ustad.
Perfect. So you saw through the examples that we've given how a masdar can be quite a few different things. It can be mubtada, it can be mudaf ilay, al, tamyiz, etc. In this Quranic example, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم سبحان الله حين تمسون وحين تصبحون, from Surah Al-Rum, verse 17. The translation of the nearest meaning of to the nearest translation to the nearest meaning: glory be to Allah when you enter the evening and when you enter the morning. Here, subhana can be seen as the mubtada. Yes, mubtada. Derived from sabah, subhan.
Subhanallah, phrase is mubtada Ustad.
Yes, sorry, the phrase. Mudaf ilayhi, na'am.
Phrase.
Yes. And yeah, derived from sabah. Subhana is derived from sabah. Now, the masdar can also act as shibu fi'il. What we said was a shibu fi'il is something that looks like a fi'il, but in reality it's not. It resembles a fi'il. And this one can again be slightly difficult to understand, so don't worry too much. But if you do understand it, alhamdulillah, that's good, because it does require quite a bit of unpacking, but we won't do this now. But just to give you a reference from the Quran.
If you allow me, because this group is, alhamdulillah, a very strong group, I will just mention it once and should be fine. The word li ilafi, this ilafi, it came from the word alafa. Alafa. So alafa, Masdar is ilafun. Ilafun. Like aslama, islamun. So ilafun, the second red mark letter, this is Masdar. Ilafun. Okay. This is Masdar, it's okay, but Masdar itself don't play any role when it is Masdar until it is now placed in a position within a sentence. Now, what is it doing here? I'll explain. Some of you will understand this, inshallah. Li fi Quraysh, it's a jar majroor phrase. Okay, for the benefit, the convenience of the Quraysh, done. Jar majroor, incomplete segment. So, ilafihim rihlata ash-shita'i was-saif. Ilafihim. Okay, ilafihim. Ilafihim rihlata. Now, rihlata is in mansub state, and it is actually playing a role of a maf'ul here. So when there is a maf'ul, generally you will know there should be a fail in the verb, in the sentence. There should be a fail maf'ul. Without fail, maf'ul normally doesn't appear. But this is a very special situation. So there's no fail there. These are all ism. There's no fail here. So grammatically, fail is mahzuf here. In this situation, maf'ul is there. There has to be something there which may play the role of a fail there. So ilafun, ilafi here, because of the grammatical continuation, and that is playing the role of shibu fail here. Okay, look at the meaning. We have destroyed the companions of elephant. This is not mentioned before li ilafi. It is just in a continuation of surah fil, continuation there. So it is actually connected, these two surah. Was it for the convenience of Quraysh? So that the Quraysh can travel, Quraysh can travel during the winter and summer. Can travel, can you see it's a fail meaning? Can travel. So this is ilafi. So Masdar is working like a shibu fail, like a fail here. If you come back to this in future, time to time, you will find it interesting because your grammar will be much stronger there. So try to remember, inshallah. And there are not many. We only found just one. And I got it from a book and from my ustad. I have attended a long course. Alhamdulillah, he's the best ustad. I have many, as you know, alhamdulillah. He is the best, okay? Dr. Amir Suhail, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Okay, carry on. Very good, mashallah, ustad.
Now we look at masdar acting as a sifa. We've said that primary function of the masdar is to express a meaning in noun form. However, sometimes it functions as a sifa. As you saw, the different roles it can play. And obviously, sifa means we're giving, receiving information about a quality or being in a state. We have an example from Surah Al-Naba'ah. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا. So we have سراجا وهاجا. So here, so وجعلنا, we have placed in them a shining lamp. So here, وهاجا is the sifa, or blazing lamp, or a brightly shining lamp. Okay, so here you can see the sifa is the masdar. Similarly, Surah Al-Furqan, قمرا منيرا. Subhanallah. A qamar, a moon, illuminated, or luminous, illuminated moon, or luminous moon. So here you can see the sifa is the masdar. See how, subhanallah, that a masdar can take many forms, which is why we're saying trying to spot it can be quite challenging.
You need to love Masdar in order to understand the Quranic Arabic, the beauty of it. Just by the way, Ustaz, Sirajan wa Wahaja, the actual word was Wahajun. Wahajun, okay? Jun.
Yes.
Now, it is matching with Sirajan because that is in Fatha Tanwin, and obviously after that alif will be added automatically, you understand? So Sirajan, Wahajan, this is Mausuf Sifa. Sifat is describing Sirajan. Same with the second one as well. You understand this bit, right, everybody? Yeah?
Yeah, I think we covered
Okay.
also sifa. Yeah, we got thumbs up, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So yeah, just to also remind us, right now we're focusing on masdar, so don't worry too much about sifa and the other topics we've been covering. We're just showing you that masdar can take different forms. And this, we have a table now, which I'd like you to also go through in your own time. But I'm going to go through it now quickly, inshallah. I think we have about half an hour before Maghrib in the UK, and then because just we should be finished this lesson before then, because there's some advanced stuff which I won't be covering, but for your reference. Now, there's some common masdar patterns in verb form 1. Again, this is just for information, to just to give you some insight what we mentioned at the beginning. If you look at the masdar from the meaning, so we have on the, let me get my mouse, the pen. So we have on the right, rahmah, which means being kind. What pattern is it following in form 1? Fa'ala. Fa'alatun, okay? Rahmatun, fa'alatun. That's the pattern. Rahmatun means being kind. Rahmatun. Then we have shakwa, which is following the fa'ala pattern. Fa'ala, shakwa. Shakwa meaning complaining. Hopefully we don't have many students doing that here. Next we have dhikra, one we're more familiar with. Dhikra follows the fi'la pattern. Yeah. Then we have nasyanun. Nasyanun follows the fi'lanun pattern, forgetting. Nasyan, and the word insan is related to this, i.e. Allah is creating us. The type of being we are forgetful. Nasyanun. Next we have ghufranun, following the fu'lanun pattern. Ghufranun.
Subhanun is the same pattern.
Subhan. Yes.
Fu'lanun.
Subhan. Yes.
Ghufranun.
Fu'lanun, subhanun, ghufranun.
Yeah.
Forgiving. Again, remember this is the ending ing ending should give you a clue. We are talking about masdar here, so don't get confused with other similar words. Here, ghufranun, we're not talking about ghafurun. Don't get confused with the other words. Ghufranun, fu'lanun. Then we have ibadatun, ibadatun, which is following the fi'alatun pattern. Ibadatun. So this is a masdar, ibadatun. Okay, and obviously if we didn't have the if the construct just ibad would be a different word, so don't get confused. Ibad is following the fi'al pattern, like fa'il, fi'al is a different pattern, but here is fi'alatun. Okay, ibadatun, worshipping, masdar. A few more examples. We have nadharun following fa'lun pattern. Sorry, nadhrun fa'lun. Nadhrun fa'lun, meaning looking. And then we have dhikrun, which is following the fa'lun pattern. Dhikrun meaning remembering. We have kufrun following the fu'lun pattern, which is kufrun is denying. Kufrun, fu'lun. Then we have talabun, requesting, following the fa'alun pattern. See, and these are Form 1 patterns that we're more familiar with. We also have khurujun, which means exiting. Kharaja khurujun, fu'ulun. Khurujun following the fu'ulun pattern. And finally, we have nikahun. Who's heard of this one, huh? Do you know when we say nikah, we're talking about a masdar? Nikahun following the fi'alun pattern, which means marrying. I give these examples of Form 1 just to show you how many examples there are and how different they are in Form 1. And as we said, you don't have to memorize these, just be aware of them.
Which one is the most common pattern of masdar? Most common in whole Quranic Arabic? The first one, fa'alun, najrun. That is very common. The others are less common. And the other good news is whenever in a Quranic verse you cannot identify as anything else, then you assume that this is possibly a masdar. Okay, and then you look at the pattern of that particular word, and then you will say it's a masdar. But more importantly, you don't have to worry about masdar because it is in that verse playing a specific role there. It could be one of these, mubtada, khabar, this. So it's just understanding the morphology, understanding the nahu part of it, the construction, where it came from, and what it is doing now. And it's just changing its role, era, everything. MashaAllah. Yeah, saying something.
I think Ustad Aisha talking about the example.
Nasiyanun fi'lanun. There is an inconsistency. I'll have a look. Okay, it's not correct as it stands. Okay, inshallah. Thank you, sister.
It could be a typo. It's sometimes the formatting
it should be just nisyanun.
Nisyanun, yeah.
I'll correct my original now. Okay,
Thank you for pointing that out.
It's very good proofreaders. Huh?
Yeah, mashallah. Okay.
Now this is very important, Ustad. Make them understand, digest it now here before they go. Masdar muawwal. Okay,
yeah.
carry on.
Hopefully this isn't the first time they're coming across it, so they've had chance to think about this one. Masdar muawwal. We talked about it in the last lesson. but we only touched on it. So now, alhamdulillah, we'll be able to really fully understand it, inshallah. And if you have any questions, please, this is your time to clarify. Masdar mu'awwal. What did we say about masdar first and foremost? And this is key thing you need to go over today. When we say masdar, we're talking about an idea or a concept. If I have not been able to help you understand that, I failed. Remember, please go away. Masdar is an idea or concept. But what we are doing by that, it means to go, to sit, to eat, or to read. It's not telling us who's doing it, when it's happening, etc. When we're saying going, reading, eating, sitting, these are concepts. These are ideas. So when we say to reveal, or when we talk about revelation, when we say to submit, i.e. Islam, when we say submission, these are the ideas or concepts. There is no time, there is no doer, and these are all infinite verbs, meaning there's no time, masdar. Okay. Now, what is a masdar mu'awwal? Another term, and masdariya, and I'm intentionally mentioning it here because we've mentioned this last lesson, and they're interchangeable. Masdar mu'awwal is a specific special term used by grammarians, grammar experts, to describe a phrase, and we'll see what this phrase is about. It's when an is added to a fi'l mudari', and the i'rab is changed by the harf an. Okay, let's look at an example to bring it to life. So we'll use an yakhruja first. Let me get my pen. I know I'm glad last time Ustad Muhammad reminded me about highlighting what I'm talking about. So we have yakhruja here. If this word was by itself, there was no an before it, it'd be yakhruju, right? Kharaja yakhruju. We are familiar with that. Model 2 students. Kharaja yakhruju. The ending, dhamma, right? Yakhruju. But what's happening here is because of this masdar mu'awwal or an masdariya. This an is causing the i'rab to change to fatha. Okay, so yakhruju has become yakhruja. And there's an extremely important point also for you to remember. So this is the visible change, but there's a change in the meaning. When we say yakhruju, it means he is leaving, right? Or he is exiting, present tense, right? There's we have additional information. The dua is telling us it's masculine, singular, and there's a time element to it. It's present tense, right? That's yakhruju I'm talking about. But when you add an, then some of that information goes. Okay, it changes, now becomes to leave, as opposed to he is leaving. Is that clear? So when we're talking masdar mu'awwal, the meaning changes, and there's change in the word as well. It becomes an yakhruja, or if you're reading the verse, an yakhruja, okay. Let's look at another example. Where this is from dhahaba yadhabu. Ending would be with a dhamma. Dhahaba yadhabu. We have, this has now become a masdar mu'awwal or an masdariya. So when it becomes masdar mu'awwal, in terms of what we could see is the change. The dhamma will become a fatha, becomes nasab. Okay, the subjunctive mood is mansub. Okay, yadhabu becomes an yadhaba. This is extremely important that you remember this. And yadhabu would be he is going, right? But when you have an at the beginning, then just means to go. So the meaning changes. Okay? So this is the formula. An plus mudari', what's happening is becomes mansub. And the new term is no longer a mudari' by itself. When you add an before it, an plus mudari', it becomes a masdar mu'awwal. Can I see some thumbs up to confirm that you've understood before I move on? And Dr. Muhammad, let me know if I've not explained it clearly enough.
Sister Hazira, your hand shut up, said Sanika, said, okay. Shami after said, okay. Sister Bushra said, okay.
Yes. Let's put some to sleep. Putting it to sleep.
Sorry, Ustad?
No, I'm just joking, saying, have I put any of our students to sleep?
Have you gone to sleep? Yeah. Ustad has explained it very well, mashallah. It's important because you should not proceed until you really are very, very clear on it. It's very important.
I think reading few times it will make clear, but it's only 14 people.
Yeah.
You can ask question directly if you didn't understand.
Sister Nurjahan, are you okay with this so far? Masdar muawwal. When we say masdar, it's single word. When we say masdar muawwal, it means an harf particle has been added before a specific, only mudariyu. Not all types of fail an comes, only before mudariyu. And as you know, an is a harf nasiba. An lan hatta idan Allah kay likay. So an came before yakhruju. Yeah. And it has become yakhruja, and the whole meaning is changed. Before it was fail, like he goes, he is going, proper fail sense. But here, an yakhruja means to go or going. Idea, concept. It has become concept now. And this yakhruja, masdar mu'awwal, can be a mubtada, can be a khabar itself in a sentence. You understand? I like going. Uhibbu ay yakhruja. Okay, uhibbu.
Sister Hajira, did you have a question? I see your hand is up.
Yes, Ustad, this Masdar Mu'awwal we have seen in the previous lesson as well, right? With the example, أن تقرأ القرآن.
Yeah.
So the an plus the verb تقرأ became تقرأ. So an plus تقرأ is becoming, is called Masdar Mu'awwal, right? And تقرأ. So basically we learned there that the nominative clause, the verb is being transformed into to act like an ism there, to become a mubtada, right?
Yes, yes. Clear? That's right.
So,
Brother
so
Irfan? Sorry.
The an plus and the verb is becoming together a Masdar Mu'awwal.
Yes, and it's giving a meaning of an ism, name of an action meaning.
Okay.
Idea meaning, concept meaning.
Good, you've got it, alhamdulillah.
So how would we translate this an yakhruja?
Sorry?
How would we translate the an yakhruja then?
To exit, to go, to leave, or living.
Exiting.
Exiting, yes. Or to exit. Either. Okay.
Yes.
Brother Irfan, did you have a question?
Yes, Irfan, brother.
Assalamu alaikum. Does it always come with the fail mudari with ghaib, or can it come with the like yukhrujani or yukhrujuna? Can we also add un to it, and then does anything drop?
Is that you want to answer?
Go for it, Dr. Muhammad.
Okay. If it is an coming before mudario, an only comes before mudario, that's important. But without an, yakhrujuna, all this, anything normal can be there. That's okay. According to the demand, its role it's playing, there will be, yakhruju with that, lots of surfology means lots of variation will be there without an as normal. But when an comes before a mudario, this must behave in this way. There is no exception to that. Okay, brother?
And we have some examples as well
We have examples here, inshallah.
to answer your question.
Yeah, carry on with this. Inshallah, it will be much more clearer with that. I
So-
mean, they're getting the idea. I know, alhamdulillah. Yeah, okay.
Yes, so examples always good to bring it to life, and it will, obviously allows us to repeat what we're saying. So that's what we'll do now, inshallah. And some of these we may have covered previously. First one, أريد أن أخرج من البيت. I want to go to the house. So notice this is first person, أنا, right? أريد أن أخرج. So if this is a فعل مضارع, it will be أخرج. But because we have it's a Masdar mu'awwal with an at the beginning, it's become أخرج. Okay, I'm just this is the first time, so I'm just mentioning this. But notice this pattern when I give the following examples. أريد أن أخرج من البيت. I want to go to the house. Sorry, I want to go out of the house. Okay, now notice that we're talking about the idea of going out of the house. It's not saying that I'm leaving the house, as an example. Okay, the idea of is about, there's a meaning in it, but literally it's saying that an akhruja means to go out. Yeah, as you can see, to go out. أريد أن أخرج من البيت. Next example, أحب أن أقرأ القرآن. أحب أن أقرأ القرآن. I love to read the Quran. And أقرأ means to read. See, it's not saying reading, or it's not saying I read the Quran, which is a fi'l. To read, the idea or concept of reading, to read. Yeah, this is what we're conveying here. Next one, أريد أن أذهب هناك. I want to go there. أن أذهب means to go. أريد أن أذهب هناك. I want to go there. Next one, يحب أن يأكل السمك. يحب أن يأكل السمك. He loves to eat fish. He must be from Bangladesh. He loves to eat fish. Next example, المدرس يأمركم أن تدرسوا. The teacher orders you to study. See, أن تدرسوا, orders. And notice the ending here. What's this telling us? Is it singular? No, it's plural. And tadrusu. So to answer your question, Brother Irfan, earlier on, you can see it applies to different words as well. And tadrusu. Next example, لا يريد الناس أن يموتوا. Subhanallah. The people don't want to die. To die is the Masdar muawwal here. And أن يموتوا. أن يموتوا. To die. The people do not want to die. Next example, أريد أن أفعل العمل. I want to do the task. And أفعل is to do. أن أفعل. أريد أن أفعل العمل. I want to do the task. Final example here is one you'll be familiar with, inshallah, from hadith. وأن تصوموا خير لكم. Sorry, from the Quran. وأن تصوموا خير لكم. But to fast is better for you or best for you.
Okay, Ustad, I'll just
No.
add something here.
Sure.
This one, which one is it? What do you do? Last one. Antasumu. Do you realize, although you can look at the translation, okay? Too fast. This, can you tell me, anybody, can you point it out the translation is wrong? It is wrong. English. There's something wrong there. Can you, anybody point out?
It's and fasting is harf ataf. Not but, right? And fasting is best for you all. No?
Khairun is not best, I think.
Huh?
Khair can be best. Khair is
It
can
can
be
be?
better or best.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can have all three, normal, good, better, best. Any of them can mean. Okay. Now, the point is tasumu. There's some, in the translation, there's something missing there. Tasumu is mudari, okay? Yes. Swama, yasumu, tasumu. There is a
You
fail.
fast.
There is a fa'il there.
You
And
fast.
that is your fasting. Yes.
You're fasting.
Your fasting. Can you see? When you know the grammar, we will do a better translation than this. Your fasting. Your fasting is best for you. Okay, concept, your fasting, concept, idea. It doesn't mean you will fast or you did fast, nothing. You're fasting. Good. Okay, good. Ustad.
Like Dr. Muhammad, because this points out, and there's a few examples above. For
Yeah,
example,
antadrusu, can you see?
yes, the difference between
Antadrusu, same.
third person. We have first person, third person, second person. We have singular, we have plural. Alhamdulillah. So answer Brother Ifran's question. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, the teacher orders you to study. Teachers orders you to study. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, this section is more for information. I wasn't intending to go into this.
Let me see before you say anything, Ustad.
Yeah. This be on the next page. Well,
is it? Can you show me the beginning? This page, right?
Yeah. No, it's the next one that I won't be teaching at all. It's just,
okay, correct. Okay. This one, advanced. What does it say? Do you?
You didn't do it in the last group.
We didn't do. Okay, quickly go through stuff. They will revisit this themselves. If they want to go deeper, they can communicate with me as well. But I think it's kept like that for a reason. I can't remember now.
It's general. It's the main concept is repeating, really. But I'll go through examples, inshallah. This is from Surah Al-Mulk. Now, أأمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور. Do you feel secure that He who is over the heaven, meaning Allah, will not cause the earth to swallow you? Then suddenly the earth starts to shake violently. Now, what we're looking at here is أن يخسف. And this is the Masdar Muawwal. فعل مضارع يخسف has become يخسف.
To swallow. Can you see? Will not cause the earth to swallow. أي يخسف. To swallow. Concept, idea, Masdar Muawwal. It's a meaning.
Yes.
To swallow you. Okay?
That's it. That's right. Again, next verse. أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل عليكم حاصبا فستعلمون كيف نذير. Or do you feel secure that He who is above will not send against you a storm of stones? then you shall know how terrible was my warning. Here, it's yursila from rasala, yursalu, sorry, yursilu. But we have an yursila.
Okay, now
The-
this is, we should not explain, because this masdar muawwal is giving a negation meaning. You will see in translation in many places, it's English, it says lest, L-E-S-T. The negative words are not there, but the meaning, because of this, it's a special. So inshallah, we'll carry on this, brothers and sisters. Don't worry, inshallah. That's fine. So sometimes we'll have negative meaning without any negative words there. It's very interesting, and it's very fascinating, alhamdulillah. In future, brothers and sisters, please. Okay.
The key thing is we're showing is that
can you see at the bottom it's written, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, I've included in explanation the kana ayusila containing an implied negative sense. Even the other one, swallow, to swallow, you can see it's a concept, but the meaning is so that it does not swallow you. Okay? It does not swallow you. And you see, against a storm of stones, who is above will not send against you a storm. So if these two sentences, if you read it a few times, and we will understand. So the whole section is for you to study from the two examples up to the explanation, inshallah. Okay, inshallah. It is all explained there. But at this stage, because we are studying this first time, we will not, inshallah, go further than what we have just covered, because it will contradict to the concept you already are about to sort of absorb in your mind, inshallah.
I mean, the main objective, inshallah, has been achieved. I believe we want to explain what Masdar is and Masdar Muawwal, and how it changes both in what we see, visibly what changes, i.e. the i'rab from Dhamma to Fatha, meaning Marfu' to Mansub, as well as the meaning, i.e. Fi'al Mudari changing to Masdar Muawwal and the meaning of that. So that's what we want to convey with all these examples, alhamdulillah. The next page I won't be going through, but it's in the
you may read it
PDF
and keep quiet.
You can read it.
Do not
this is really
teach it to the students.
This is really interesting. Stuff I enjoyed learning about, but again, it's this background information, additional fa'idah that for your benefit, nothing else. So those who are interested, you can read that.
And keep it safe on your folder, because sometimes we need this. Yeah, good.
And alhamdulillah, at the end, we also have, I'll call this like a glossary. We kind of went through a lot of these examples, but this is just for your convenience, mashallah, lists the different masdar and the meaning and where it comes from. So kitabatun is the masdar, comes from with the meaning of writing. Okay, kitabatun, it means writing, whereas the word kitab is just a book. It's a noun, so not to be confused. And al-kitabu is kitabun is nakira, whereas al-kitabu, as you know, module 2 students, is ma'rifa, meaning the book. And it shows you the conjugation, and we will be spending a whole few lessons on this journey of verbs. So Dr. Muhammad, I wasn't intending to go through this, but this is additional information for them, how the word changes, and you can see masdar in the different forms. Form 2, we have mukatabatun, and in form 8, iktitabun. So again, when we go through
We
verb
are on
forms,
lesson 8 now. Lesson 12, we will have, you will notice some of them might be crying while studying this because it's a long number one. Number two is it's quite involved. And number three, it is a little bit complex. There are 10 different forms of verb within one lesson, quite a lot of pages, and quite a lot of MCQ questions, and you will be crying, inshallah, and that will be fun. But keep your mind open. We will do it together. That's what happens. But this is one of the major lessons, alhamdulillah, in module 2. And for Quranic Arabic, this is one of the top, first or second or third most important lesson. So these are all like ideas. And at that point, after you do this, you may come back here. But by then you will see a lot of examples there anyway. But it's there in this chapter. You may have a look at this. Is it last page, Ustad?
it is, yeah. So this is just give you a glimpse of verb forms, really. This is what I see this table as, and shows you where Masdar falls in the wider group of verbs and nouns. But we have a whole lesson 12, which will be spread over 3 or 4 lesson classes, inshallah, where we'll go into this deep, inshallah. But with that,
those who are very, very forward-looking and working hard, a tip for you: start looking at lesson 12 from 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a chart there in multicolor, one chart. You have to memorize it. Start looking at it. I mean, I will go through this stuff. When are you going to pray?
It's Maghrib time now, which is why it's
okay.
I was going to
come back.
I was going to hand over to you. Well, we go for Maghrib, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay. All right. Good. See you. Some of you shortly, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Right.
Over to you.
So, I'm looking at. Okay, this one, I'll just spend a few minutes on this. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أأمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض. Can you see the meaning? Do you feel secure that He is over the heaven, Allah is over the heaven, and there is no negative word there at all? An plus yaksifa. As it stands, it means to swallow. But the sense within this sentence, the message in this sentence, it means, do you feel secure that He will not cause the earth to swallow you? Can you see? This is the point, brothers and sisters. Try to get it. By reading the sentence, the verse, you are getting the interpretation that it means, do you feel secure that Allah will not cause you to cause the earth to swallow you? So can you see? And you will see the hint of that. As I said, always you will be doing this task which we are learning. Means when you translate and when you read Quran, always you will read with the meaning, with the words and the translation together. Al-Quran app or Quran.com, anywhere. And as soon as you see list, okay, let's just see. This is Surah Mulk 1, it is 16, right? Okay. I think it will be helpful, inshallah. Surah, what is, okay. Yeah. You can see my screen, right? 67 and 16, right? I hope is that what I'm saying? No, it's not there. That's why I don't like some of these translations. Okay, let us see on let us see on but actually this is Quran.com. Let me see. I think I changed all the translators to Hilali and Khan. Hilali and Khan is the best, remember? But in this one is, sorry, what, 16, right? 16. Okay. And the other example, which surah, which verse? That is 17, right? Let us see. No, it's not. It's not showing lest, L-E-S-T. It's clearly giving not, keeping us confused. But anyway, try to remember, inshallah. I see this many times, that there will be a word within that English translation, L-E-S-T. It means not, negative. Okay, inshallah. So we leave it like that. Now, okay, whatever we studied so far, any question, anything you want me to clarify, or anything we learned before, you can ask me, go through, inshallah. On the chat box, any question, Aisha?
Ustad, I have a question.
Yes.
So the different forms of Masdar, I thought that it's only one noun only has one form of Masdar, but the chart that we saw just now shows multiple forms of Masdar for one noun. Is that how it is?
Whom I'm
Form
speaking?
one, form one.
Form one noun can have
Yeah, form
more
one
than
has.
one. Mm.
Yeah.
So each noun can have more than one types of Masdar.
No.
It's only form one.
Form one, most common one is Fathun form. Fathun pattern, most common one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But on form one, there are many other, about 15 patterns. How many? Roughly 15. What is this? This is this one, I believe. No. Yes. This is most common. Okay. We do not say this in for module 1 at all. At that point, they're learning just this, just simple. And also, we don't discuss about Masdar in for module 1. But when we started, we said, can you see it says here, Form 1 verbs Masdar has 15 patterns, but Form 2 and 10, okay, they have got one fixed pattern, alhamdulillah. So we do not need to worry about all these different forms because it does not need to be memorized. You will see this pattern. You will see this pattern. If you see Gufranun, Subhanun has become Subhana, okay, because first this is Masdar, then it is playing a role of Maf'ul bihi there, that's why Mansub, okay, we'll learn later. And in that way, for different forms, you will have one fixed pattern. One fixed pattern. And the chart I was talking about, this is your extra homework. Please try to find some time, have a look at this. If you do, your life will be easier and you'll be laughing when others are crying, struggling. Okay, so I am showing you that. You got the PDF already, those who purchased the material. And it is, I'm talking about this. Make a note, including, I remember, Brother Muhammad, Aisha, Sister Faizia, many of our students, when they were studying it first time, module 1, we had some spare time. I said, I will give you a task. If you can complete this before you start module 2, you will be a very happy person. And they did it. They did it. So this is our verb form 1 to 10. So you don't need to study everything, but as you know, some charts we have to memorize blindly without understanding. And this is that. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. Can you see it's the same one you have? I hope. Okay, can you see it's in landscape? So you can get this page printed. Can you see page 3 of lesson 12? If you get it printed, because you need it. So I'm going back to this again on the original. Okay, you will memorize it like this. Ustad Faizia, is she here now? Okay, no problem. Ustad Jahan, I don't think you were in, huh? Okay. Yeah, so I gave it in advance and they did it. So if you could, how do you memorize? Form 1, don't look at this. Main thing is from here to here. This must be memorized. This is no alternative. This is probably one of the most complex. I wouldn't say once you memorize, it's all easy. I mean, alhamdulillah, I've done it. I can tell you, sarrafa, yusarrif, musarrif, la tusarrif, musarrifun, musarrafun, tasrifun, surrifa, yusarrafu. Aisha has memorized it. Very, very. Okay. So this is, can you see, without understanding the meaning to change, forget about it. You will just, my brothers and sisters, you will take a piece of paper and pen. You write this chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9. Can you see? Sarrafa yusarrifu. So we have chosen one word, and within that, we have given its different form. Form 2, then form 3, another different word. Qatala, qatala. 3, form 3, form 2. How 2 becomes 3, how it becomes 4. Very interesting. It's not complex. You'll be loving it. Those who are hardworking, inshallah. So your task, if you can, just memorize this. Sarrafa yusarrifu sarrif. La tusarrif. Musarrifun musarrafun. Tasrifun surrifa yusarrafu. Alhamdulillah. Then qatala yuqatilu. Like this. Qatil. La tuqatil. Mukatalun. Mukatilun mukatalun. Mukatalatun or kitalun. It's just 2 only there, only 2 patterns. Otherwise, everything is same. One pattern of Masdar. Masdar, can you see Masdar? These are Masdar, and this is only one pattern, except just one, which is form 3. So you will try to memorize this. Akrama yukrimu ukrim. Sorry, akrama yukrimu akrim la tukrim. Mukarrimun, mukarramun, ikramun. Ukrima, yukramu. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. No, that's what I'm just saying. Right. So all this from here to here. Is that understood, this point? Brothers and sisters? Did you hear what I said? Yes, Sister Bushra, you there? Sister Hazira, you there? Sister Nazdin?
Yes, Ustad.
So the advice is understood?
Yeah. So you want us to memorize the chart?
To memorize, as you know, you have to speak loudly 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, write it down a few times. It's done. Sister Bushra, did you understand?
Yes, Ustad. Inshallah, we'll start looking at it.
Inshallah. You know, enjoy later. Have some hard work now and then relax later. Sister Nazneen, try your best. Sister Sadaf, is the advice understood? Hmm.
Yes, Ustad, understood.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. What happened to you? Your voice sounds a little bit dry. You got flu or something?
Allergies.
Okay, good. May Allah make it easy. Sister Selina, Sanika, you there? Sanika possibly gone to prayer. Shambi is not okay. I will, okay,
I think
11.
most should be back by now.
Yeah, I just wanted to really, explain that in advance. If you can do this, it will be very, very enjoyable and you'll be relaxing at that time while others are struggling. Because if you start memorizing it at that time, it's okay. But, I just explained. So the London people, UK people probably didn't listen. Once they are back in a few minutes, Ustad, just remind them, and that will be it, Ustad. Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum, Ustad.
Yes, Shamima. Yes, Shammi, yes.
Sorry, I missed the homework. We have to memorize from bar 1 to 10.
If I could ask Ustad Hazira to repeat what I said, please, for me.
Yeah, so the Ustad basically told us to go through the chart and read it a couple times aloud and memorize it. The forms, form 1 to 10.
From where to where?
Yeah, that is from form 2, right? From form 2 to form 10.
From 2 to 10, and you don't have to memorize these things, meaning nothing, just this chart. From here, Sarrafa, to
from there.
Istansara, yastansiru, istansir, la tastansir, mustansirun, mustansarun, istinsarun. Then ustunsira, yustansaru. And suddenly istinsaru, istinsira, then yustansaru. Why is it? And you will get a pattern. But you have to memorize it. There is no other way. So it's a page 3. Page 3 of lesson 12, you have this chart, and on the same lesson, you have it on page 13. This is landscape form for you to print out. You print out, then what you do is, as I said, you will only memorize this part. Only memorize this part, okay? From sarrafa, you sarrifu. Okay, then you write it down. Ustad Hazira said couple of times you cannot memorize it. Okay, you have to try as many times as needed until you memorize it fully. Okay, Sister Shammi, okay, Sister Selina already knows about it. Okay, Ustad Sanika already knows about it. Sanika, you still remember Sarrafa Yusarrifu chart?
Most of it, alhamdulillah, I still need revision.
Inshallah, sure. So Sister Sadaf, there, Sister Nur Jahan, you are familiar with this, right? Okay. Anyway, the rest you know. Alhamdulillah. Ustad Sadiq, you can conclude now, inshallah. Ustad Muhammad, you were one of them who memorized it before module 2 started. Alhamdulillah. You did a great job. I remember, Ustad.
Mashallah.
Inshallah, yes.
Was it helpful to do it before, Ustad?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Yes, okay.
It's, I think the tips would be
yes.
for the new students, print the chart,
yes.
leave it by your desk if you're working, or just pin it somewhere in the kitchen maybe. Just repeat it every time you go past, and you come back to it until you get everything together, all 8 forms. That would be the good, good tips.
Inshallah, definitely no other way. No other way. Yes, good. Okay, Ustad.
Dr. Mahmoud, thank you for sharing that. I think it'd be useful for the students to get a head start because it's not easy to memorize it straight away. So it does take some time. So by them making us start now, it'll make it easier for them, inshallah.
Absolutely.
So,
The whole
and
chart
hopefully-
will be explaining, teaching bit by bit, everything. There's a lot of things there on one chart. And you will be very good. We'll make sure we'll work hard together. So every bit. But for now, this is the hard bit. Just I wanted to say, Ustad, the momentum this group has created, this is absolutely very inspiring for everyone, others, for themselves, for others who are following it, for the teachers as well, subhanallah. It's so nice to see, as you said, Ustad Sadiq in the beginning, alhamdulillah, what a great task, what a great kind of professionalism, what a great commitment they are showing by doing this. And they're updating us with their progress they made on each lesson. They're coming, studying the PDF, watching the YouTube video, and doing MCQ. Wow, Allahu Akbar. So that is the future. Everyone, let us work hard to make sure our students, most students, do that. And I can already, Brother Muhammad and Brother Sadiq can see it will be so enjoyable for everybody. Even the teachers can give them more. If they don't do it, how difficult this life is to deal with the students who are not listening. So you have started, you continue, and this is something you will be promoting to our Al Quran Institute students in future, inshallah. You'll be teaching module 2, inshallah. So, again, module 1, you are teaching, you will be teaching, but let's try to keep this as our way of learning and teaching, inshallah. Ustad Sadiq.
Yeah, quite. I was going to actually touch on that, for them to continue with what they've been doing, going over the PDF and the MCQs before next lesson. The next lessons we'll be covering is lesson 9 and 10, inshallah. So do prepare for that. I'm just letting you know now so you can prepare. You have a few days to go through those, inshallah. So keep up the good work, mashallah. Encourage each other. So we want to create a community which encourages each other like you've been doing. So you get reward for that. So don't think little things like that. Inshallah, you'll get a lot of reward. So may Allah accept from all of us. Keep each other in your dua. May Allah grant us all success. Barakallahu fikum. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.